Have an awesome day. Get out there and move. Dance around. Climb a tree. Laugh. Enjoy life. Smile. People are so busy. They don't have the time to exercise. One of the main reasons why people say they don't exercise is because they don't have the time. So how do we find more time to exercise is the question, right? We just need more time. We all have so many responsibilities. We're here, there, we're doing this, we're doing that. We need more time to exercise. Of course, you can ride a bike and take the stairs instead, but we need to look at the perspective and the mindset. And so what I notice is a lot of people talk about the little tactics and tricks to squeeze in more workouts during the day, which are cool. They're good ideas, but nobody gets to the real root of the problem, which is more of a psychological issue. And so that's what I want to touch on today. I think we need to look at the question in a different way. The question should be, how do we create more energy? Because when we have more energy, we can exercise much easier. So before I get into this, I just want to explain BDNF. It stands for brain derived neurotrophic factor. Scientific studies show that when you do cardiovascular exercise, it increases BDNF. BDNF does is it increases brain activity in the nervous system. You're able to remember things faster, more creative. You're able to think on your feet much quicker and have better memory retention. Exercise will help you be smarter. And you got to remember, Isaac Newton's law, an object at rest tends to stay at rest. So the more excuses you have for not exercising, the more difficult it's going to be to exercise. So let's just get up and move and stop thinking about it. So we have to be honest with ourselves with this. We got to sit back and we got to ask ourselves, what is our lifestyle right now? What kind of life do we live? The average American spends 3 hours and 58 minutes watching television every single day. I don't even think that's counting the time that they're on social media or passively doing other activities. So you got to ask yourself, what is it that you're doing that you can stop doing in order to exercise a little bit more? And it just becomes about removing the unnecessary activities, the activities that aren't serving you at all. Now, there's probably a laundry list of activities that are not serving you that you could do away with. Think of your time as an investment. An investor will invest in a company or a product that's going to get a positive ROI, a return on investment. This is how you have to look at your time as well. Investing your time in exercise is always a good idea. Whether it's going for a walk, a jog, a swim, playing basketball, punching the bag, whatever it is that you like to do. We just need to learn how to be free a little bit more. You look at adults, they're so rigid. They sit in chairs. They don't joke around too much. They don't play enough. Look at a child. A child is constantly at play. That's why children don't need gyms. They're constantly moving all day long. They're exercising all day long, moving, climbing, jumping, running, spinning on the floor. Whatever it is that they can think of doing, they're going to do it because they're children. It sounds crazy, but sometimes children are smarter than adults. Now, before you even think about having or creating more energy, you got to factor in sleep and how important sleep is. Are you getting enough rest? Enough quality sleep? Deep REM sleep? Are you dreaming at night? Sleep is so important because if you don't have enough sleep, you're not going to have enough energy. That's the first thing. Let's say you're on a flight, a long flight, and you get on the plane and you take a good look at the pilot. Would you want that pilot to be completely exhausted? Or even worse, intoxicated? No. You would want to make sure that that pilot is fully rested, had his cup of coffee if he needs it, eats healthy, all that. Why? Because your life is at stake and your loved ones' lives are at stake as well on that flight. So be the pilot of your own life. and take it serious. Create a habit and a routine. Every day, you should set aside a time to where you do your exercise of choice, whatever it may be. When you do this, after a certain amount of time, you don't even have to try the routine. It's just automatic. It's almost like your body automatically does it. You don't even have to think about it. Then you want to have a predictable schedule. So it's something that you either do before work or you do in between. Use triggers as well. So if you wake up, you have a cup of coffee. When you have that cup of coffee, use that cup of coffee as a trigger. Now you're going to bring your water. You're going to drink the coffee. You're going to get your water. You're going to get in the car and you're going to go straight to the gym. Or you're going to go pick up the kettlebell. Or you're going to put on an exercise video, whatever it may be. Find the movement that you enjoy most. And this could be anything. This could be a sport. If you like playing basketball, play basketball. If you really like to swim, find a way to swim. If you like to hike, go hiking. Go for the same walk every day. There's a hill next to where I live that I walk every single day. It takes me 13 minutes to walk. It's a couple blocks long. It's one of the biggest hills in my vicinity, and I walk it almost every day. I have to do it. It's a psychological trigger where I tell myself, okay, I can't really get my day started properly until I walk up this hill. Another thing is grouping your activities. Do more than one thing at once. And it's not always good to multitask, but when you're working out and you're pressed for time, multitask. Now, every day I like to do a certain amount of reading. I have to read for maybe a half hour to an hour every day. That's what I like to do. So if I have an audiobook and I can exercise while I'm listening to the audiobook, then that's perfect. If I'm doing an online course and I can put the screen on the elliptical or the treadmill and walk or use the elliptical at the same time I'm learning, then that's killing two birds with one stone, or feeding two birds with one worm, however you want to phrase it. Another one is you can incentivize yourself. So if there's something, for me, it's dark chocolate, 88%. That's what I like. So I tell myself, I'm not even going to have any dark chocolate until I do something first. Walk that hill, go to the gym, whatever it is, just do that first, and then I can have the chocolate. But for me, it's more intrinsic. It's the gratification in knowing that I got that done. I got whatever it is that I wanted to do that was so important to me, which is exercise. I got it done early. Then you feel better throughout the day. So working out in itself becomes an incentive because I know I exercised my heart. My brain capacity is expanding and I'm able to think sharper and much quicker. Learning to say no to others. Now, people naturally want to pull you in all kinds of directions and advise you to do this and tell you they need you to do this or that, whatever it may be. You got to learn how to say no sometimes and prioritize your life because it's your life. All right? And now I first came across this in a Tim Ferriss book, and it struck me because I never thought of it this way. But when you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you got to learn how to say no to a lot of people. And it's the same thing with taking control of your life and finding more time to exercise and creating more energy. Short workouts. This is something that I really, really love because short workouts throughout the day are actually more productive, in my opinion, because if you do one long workout and then you just sit around for the rest of the day, your body gets stiff. You don't feel good. If you break up that long workout into little segments, into 15 or 20 minute increments instead of an hour and a half long or even an hour, you break it up. You divide it into 4. Then you're able to keep your body moving, and a body in motion stays at motion and a body at rest stays at rest. So if you're at rest for 8 hours straight, It's not. Now, no matter what job I'm working, I always find a time to do some push-ups or some squats and lunges. When I'm on my way to the bathroom or when I'm about to take a 15-minute break, I need to take a little yoga break too. If you really want to get meticulous, it's going to be even better and your results are going to be so much better. If you start tracking the time that you work out every day and you start adding it up every week and every month, you start to see some real progress. I mean, just a 15-minute walk every day adds up. It adds up significantly. And so do the math on your exercise time. I used to record the time that I was doing yoga every day. I would put on a yoga video on YouTube, and I would write down exactly how many minutes I did yoga. And I'd get a good idea of how much time I was putting in on it. Because everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. So not everybody has the same amount of free time, but we all do have free time. This isn't a concentration camp. We all do have free time. And if you don't have free time, you need to reassess your priorities. And very importantly, you need to get clear on your dream, your vision. What is it that is at the utmost importance? People perish when they don't have vision. But let's just talk about how important a dream, a goal, and a vision actually is. And if it's just some vague notion in the background, it's not going to be as powerful or emotionally compelling to you, so it's not going to be effective. Get really clear, crystal clear about your vision. In order to do that, you really got to believe in yourself. There's so many people in this world that don't believe in themselves for a number of reasons. It could be the society that we grew up in. The upbringing has a lot to do with it. But you really have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that you do deserve it, because you do. All of this is futile unless you take action. Taking action is the cream of the crop when it comes to finding time or creating more energy. And you got to think about this. There's a lot of successful people. I mean, I can name drop, but I don't want to. There's a lot of successful people who find the time to exercise and work out and still accomplish a ton of things in their lives. They're so busy. You got to ask yourself, why? Why? Is it because they're exercising and taking the time to work out? Maybe. It could be. Could have a lot to do with it. So we talked about getting clear. And one of the ways to stay clear on your vision and goals is to focus on your destination. Focus with intense laser precision on that destination. And you got to think of this metaphor, how a laser beam can cut through almost anything because it's energy that's focused. And if your energy is spread out all over the place and you're not focused with your energy, it doesn't do much of anything. But when it's focused into that tiny point, like a laser beam, it does damage. And that's what we want to do. We want to cause an impact. Keep that big picture in your mentality. The reason why. Always remember it. Every Friday, say your why day out loud. Let Friday be a why day. And say that. Say it to your friends. Say it to yourself. Write it down. Write a new why every Friday. Make a ritual out of it. To sum this up, I just want to say that by now we should know that if we don't make time for exercise and create more energy, eventually what happens is we will have to make time for doctors, therapists, and drugstores. I don't want that to happen to people. I genuinely want the best for people. So just remember, your time is an investment. Use it wisely. Escape from poverty. Operation Play for Your Freedom. Next level way of life. Next level thinking. Have an awesome day. Get out there and move. Dance around. Climb a tree. Laugh. Enjoy life. Smile. And I'll see you later.